everybody. My name is Marci from wavesofcommunication.com. So this is gonna be a different kind of video, a little bit different, because I'm moving into 2021 to remind everybody that there are lots and lots and lots of resources out there to help you with your language facilitation journey, because everybody's journey is different. And one of the things that I do as a coach is to help people find other resources that will give them information that I don't have, because I don't know everything. And I certainly don't know everything about your life and all the things that could be going right and going wrong in your emotional situation, your physical situation, your environmental situation. And if you're not working with me as a client, then I certainly won't know about those things. But it makes me more dedicated to providing tools for all of you to be able to use strategies like astrology to help you make all those other tips and tricks and puzzles and field trips and walks around the park and all those other opportunities I talk about, how to make those things more effective for you. And working with the planetary energy. That's what astrology is. That's how I use it anyway. And like I'm going to say here over and over and over again on this video, I am not an astrologer. And the way that I learned the information I learned is shout out to my astrologer. I have an astrologer who I work with as a coach who helps me to understand the astrological information, my astrological information, because everybody has a chart. This is a astrological chart. They look like a wheel, or sometimes this is Western astrology. For all of you folks who live over in Asia, there's Vedic, there's lots of different kinds of astrology. But for me, for the purposes of me and you and how I'm going to work with astrology and this platform, is I'm working with Rachel to use astrology to better my life. And my life is all about creating waves of communication and creating better ways to help more parents and caregivers teach your kids how to talk around the world. And so she's helping me learn how to adapt these practical strategies that I'm using in my own life to turn them into ways that can equip and empower you to help the late talker in your life. So I know that was a really long, drawn out way to talk about it, but for any of you who are like, astrology, oh no, it's not evidence-based. She's not, what happened to the strategies? What happened to what I can do? These are things that will help all of those strategies work better. I'm learning how to do things that will help you so that you can learn how to do things that will help your child. And I aim to create strategies to do that. And we're going to start today with this one. And working with the moon void of course. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what this is, the moon void of course. I'm also going to tell you what you need to know, why it's really important for you to know about this thing. And then I'm going to give you practical strategy to help you work with this situation, because the reason I chose this one first is because it happens to everybody and it happens very frequently. So it's something that it's not just a once in a lifetime situation. It's really common, this void of course. So let's get into learning more about it and then learning how to use it after all of my gadding, okay? All right, so the first thing I want to remind you about is that the moon is a transmitter of energy, okay? And it is influenced by other planetary bodies it comes into alignment with. Obviously, we see the sun because the sun lights it up. And then the sun, that energy from the sun, the light, actually comes onto the earth. And when we understand just that basic and we see how the light is coming at us, just the reflection from the sun to the moon to the earth lets us know that the moon is influenced, that all the planets are influenced by the other things that it comes into alignment with. So if the moon is so influenced by the sun that it's going to reflect its light onto the earth, then whatever else the moon is aligned with could affect the moon, and it's going to flavor that energy, because all the energy in our solar system, the main energy, comes from the sun, and then it kind of ping-pongs off of these planetary bodies, but no planetary body is closer or more effective on all of us than the moon. And that's why the energy from the moon changes, and that's what I'm going to show you right here. So the moon's energy towards the earth, it actually fades. It comes and goes. And one of those times that it fades is when it makes a transit. And that transit is when the moon moves into a new area, because obviously the moon moves around the earth, and it moves every 2.5 days from one astrological sign or area, and each one of these areas is influenced by one of those other planets in the solar system. So it moves from an area where it's influenced by one planet into another area where that area is influenced by a different planet. In that period of time when the moon's moving from one planetary influence into another planetary influence, the energy that pings off from the sun onto the moon, onto the earth, is going to change. And what I didn't ever know about this, I mean, I knew that the moon's energy changed when it changed, but I also didn't know that there's kind of an energy bank account in each one of those signs. And it depends, I think, on other planets that are in there, might be sucking out the moon's energy. Big planets might suck more energy than little planets. Non-astrologer, again, not an astrologer, taking astrologers' information and moving it into what I know. Thank you, Rachel. Shout out to Rachel Middleton, is the best astrologer ever, because she knows how to talk to me, and I'm not always easy to talk to. And she's helping me change my ideas and understand these things so that I can use them in a practical manner, because that's what I do. I dig in and find out how to use this stuff, because if this kind of planetary change is going to happen every 2.5 days, and there's going to be waves with these energies, right? When there's big energy, you're going to have a lot of access to whatever that is. And when it goes away, you're not going to have much access to anything. And so that's what I wanted to show you in this graphic, right? So this void, of course, is the time when the moon has run out of energy, and it's waiting for the new energy to come in after the transit, when it goes into the new area of influence. And during this area where it's run out, the moon isn't supporting communication. It's just like your internet situation. There is a reset period where the sun's energy going to the moon is burned out from that planetary influence. And the moon's energy is always flavored by a planet. And when it loses that flavor, it has to wait until it can get into the next thing. So it's just like when you restart your router, right? Because the internet connection's running slow, or it's just not working, or it's freezing. What do they tell you they do? Reset it. You unplug it. You stop the energy altogether. You plug in some new energy, and then that new energy takes over and your connection is better, right? This is the analogy for the void, of course. This is what is happening to the energy on the planet. It's run out, it's acting faulty, it's not, doing its communication anymore, runs out. And then when the moon moves into the next influence, it starts back over again and the energy goes, but it's a different flavor of energy. And it all depends on where in that wheel that I talked about the moon goes. And so right now, actually, as we speak, is one of those periods. They are different links, okay? Let me explain what happens. So without communication from the moon, your teaching is going to be really poorly received and retained by your child, because there's no energy coming in at all. And we use this energy to get us going. And look at this little kiddo's not even reacting to his dad. His dad's doing like the game that he ever thought he would. And so not only is the communication energy from the moon, when it's depleted, your child's not going to be listening to you very well. And even stuff that you used to be be really good at performing, your communication to your child will also be reduced during the void of course, the moon void of course, because there's not enough energy for this planetary influence to fuel the energy. So the moon is still as bright in the sky, but it's out of gas, right? It's like having this beautiful shiny car, except for there's nothing fueling it. The fuel's all gone. And so your fuel may feel all gone when it comes to expressive communication. This is the outward kind of stuff that we're talking about. So it could affect your teaching this void of course moon, right? So the strategy that I recommend involves adjusting your intervention to the activities that you're going to do, to turn this moon void of course periods into opportunities, because it doesn't mean, like I said, there's still energy coming at the earth, but it's inward energy. We have to use what we've got. There's no new influence. The opportunity to influence is going away. So this is the time just to reset your connection, your nonverbal, non-communication connection, just being with them, watching them, learning from them, that kind of stuff. Not analyzing and figuring out, what to do next so much as just seeing what you have and reviewing the previous successful learning experiences. These guys are just spending time together looking at videos of what they did. There's no new teaching. There's no new things presented during a moon void of course don't get traction because they don't have much gas. It's like introducing the Ferrari. Look, I've got a great new Ferrari. Let's go for a ride. Oh, we can't because there's no gas. So you can be excited about the situation, but you can't make a lot of forward movement. And what's good about it is we all need a break from forward movement. I think one of the things bummers that happen in parents' lives is that they get exhausted. Maybe this void of moon is affecting your exhaustion levels periodically every couple of days. Because if you're going, and you're working from home, you're homeschooling, or your kids are too young for school and there's no daycare open. I mean, there's lots of things in the world that are happening that are just causing a lot of effort to go out, and people are exhausted, and the moon will kind of shut down things. Meetings might get canceled. And stuff won't go as long. You'll have fewer people reaching out to you even during the void of course. So, the idea here is to understand and use it. And so let's talk about it. Basically, as summary, every moon void of course lasts for a different amount of time, okay? Now it's not always the same amount of time. Sometimes it's just a few minutes because there might not be much going on or a lot going on or whatever. The reasons that it happens, I'm not sure why. Again, not an astrologer, but I know that it varies, and it can go from anywhere from a few minutes to up to more than 36 hours. And on some catastrophic times, it happens for days at a time, like 56 hours or something like that. It has happened. Then those are really low, bad times for like the stock market, I think, and all kinds of things, because when there's a lot of energy missing, not much gets done. And when things don't get done, progress doesn't happen. And then people get frustrated when progress doesn't happen. And, like I said, ripple effect. So this is how you stay on, right? Everyone lasts for a little period of time. And if you understand what it is, right, it affects the outward communication. So if this is happening, it's coming, then it's perfect time for planning, self-reflection, and analysis, but not so much of doing those things. So plan them during these void of course periods. Make your lists, journal your progress. Use these hours to let your kids do free play where you're not trying to influence them, where you're observing them, where you're analyzing them, and you're learning from the things that you have done before so that you can stick or twist and change your strategies. And a moon diary, okay? So you can learn this information. This is how you learn it, in a moon diary. You can get one that's personalized for you, or you can order a general one. And the Moon Diary will explain exactly when the void of course happens, so you can plan your family and even your business activities. That's what I'm doing around these low communication energy times. And so, for example, this video is going out during it's a 36-hour void of course period right now while I'm filming this video. And the fact that I can't communicate with the comments live is a good example of situations that happen during a void of course. The fact that people will blog off of this and lose it, or it might get deleted from your feed or things like that, because there's no energetic legs behind this video. But I wanted to be consistent and film it anyway. And what I believe, people who really understand how that process works and want to take it on and use it with yourselves, you're going to resonate with this video. You're going to understand. You're going to look for a Moon Diary. So you just Google it, Moon Diary. The diary that I have, this is a very specific document, very detailed document that was ordered specifically for me by my astrologer, Rachel Middleton. I'm just going to shout out to her one more time because she is going to use it as a reference. This is like a roadmap astrology for the things that are potentially coming in, opportunities, good times where there's going to be energy, because all of it's going to bounce off the moon and it's going to come onto the earth at times that affect all of us. But then everybody has our own charts, and where you were born, the snapshot and that period of time is sort of your starting point for your own guide. And that's what my guide is. But the Moon Diary, any Moon Diary that you can buy on Amazon or Google or anywhere else, will tell you when these void of course are. And if you do buy a Moon Diary, make sure that they do, because this is a biggie for information. Now, my astrologer tells me, and I totally believe it, that a lot of high-level business people use this understanding of the void of course to help them make decisions about their business. If they are launching a new website or writing a book or doing something like that, they plan it at times when they definitely know that this is not a factor at all. They plan it for other times when there's lots of positive energy going towards the planet, where the pinging energy coming onto the moon that comes onto the earth is super positive and, auspicious for money or communication or whatever, because all those planets have their own different lens that the sunlight comes on and hits the moon with, and then the moon comes onto the earth. And so it's important to understand where the moon is and all of that stuff. And if you want to know more, then you get your own chart and you start comparing what's happening anyway in the planets to what happens in your own chart. And that's how you learn to use it. So for communication, this void, of course, is super important, because you are wanting your kiddo to feel easy, happy, safe, and enjoy the process of talking. During a void of course, nobody enjoys the process of talking. Even people like me. These are the times when I feel, if I look back historically, I'm like, ooh, this was the day that I just couldn't get any writing done and I wanted to sit and watch Netflix. You're going to find these moments happen with you. So even if you don't have a Moon Diary, because I just got my diary and I've been kind of feeling these up and down waves with the moon, ever since I started to really kind of tune into my own feelings about my own body and respond to my own energy, because I know I'm affected by the planets and the moon and the sun. And when there's eclipses, I feel it. And when there's, a lot of dark time and I don't get a lot of sunlight, I feel it. I really need to have exposure to the outdoors and get this influence of this energy, because that's what we all are made of. We're all made of this energy. And so when you understand it and understand how to use it, it's so much better for you. So in summary, let's go back. I want to look at this slide one more time, just so that you understand. Every moon void, of course, it lasts every couple days, and it lasts anywhere from a few minutes to more than 36 hours. And these periods of time are not good for targeting hardcore language facilitation. These are receptive times because this negative energy affects outward communication, literally runs out of gas. So it's all about inward analysis. It's the perfect time for planning, self-reflection, and analysis of the work you have just completed from the previous cycle. Because remember, what was left of it was just what you were influenced by the previous one. And that's why you don't know what it is. It's going to change every couple of days. And that's why you need a moon diary to help you with this process. Okay, so since I'm not able to see comments on this question, on this one I'm not going to see, so thank you to all of you who are joining me. If you want to learn more about working with somebody who literally uses every resource available, from homeopathy to chiropractic to ear infection doctors to everything that is around that is available to help late talking kids, I am interested to learning more about it. And then I'm going to keep sharing with you. So you're going to start to see me work with other people. In fact, next week, as a preview, I'm going to be doing a hypnosis session with one of my new friends and colleagues. And we're going to be helping you learn to use hypnosis as a language facilitation tool. So stay tuned to this channel if you want the latest possible, literally developing them week by week, tools designed to equip and empower you to teach your child how to talk faster than therapy using all the spoken language you want to use. Don't you want to fill up your toolbox? Join my program, wavesofcommunication.com. If you can't afford to work with me as a coach, subscribe to my channel. And so you catch all these videos. Like this video, share it with your friends. Help me share the information about language facilitation with parents all over the world, because that's an easy thing for you to do. It's free for you, helps me a lot, and it's a perfect exchange for all the work that I put into creating all this content for you, because I know we have to work together. You're not gonna do the work and help your kiddo unless you're equipped and empowered, and so that's my job. Your job is to do the work. My job is to help you out. Let's keep it on. Make 2021 the year that more and more kids all over the planet are talking and sharing their wisdom with the world. That's the point of all this. Thank you for joining me again, everybody, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye for now. Thanks for listening in today. And remember, there are tons of resources across my Waves of Communication platform to help you get started today on your language facilitation journey. There's more than 200 free videos on YouTube, a daily blog in my group on Facebook, my book, If It Isn't Fun, It Isn't Fun. Teach Your Child to Talk Faster Than Speech Therapy is available on Amazon and Audible, and my coaching programs. And all the details are on my website at wavesofcommunication.com.